Hey there, welcome to part 4 of the Gauntlet. This is our target today. You're looking at the aircraft carrier, sorry, cruiser aviation cruiser. Aviation cruiser Kiev. It's part of the Black Sea Fleet. It is now trying to pass the Strait of Gibraltar, but unfortunately for the Soviets, it will never get there. We've already taken down quite a few of their aircraft, and now it is time to go on offense against this thing. We have our cupcakes. Sounds harmless, but it's actually not very harmless indeed. A lot of these cupcakes are in fact carrying 4 harpoons each. First though, I'm going to send in an electronic warfare bird and start jamming these. So I'll have to close the distance a bit and make sure that they get jammed, at which point those harpoons are going to be a lot more effective. There are more aircraft around, such as Dakota 7. Dakota 7 is here as a sort of air guardian. I don't really expect to need them in that direct role. So, lacking that, I'm just going to go and use them to hunt down additional helicopters. Because there are plenty of those about. There's one aircraft doing what I don't really know what. Not responding. It could be a civilian. So, as I'm not really sure what that is, I'm not going to engage it just yet. That's Magic 2. Magic 1 is still loitering there. Now, the attack plan here is to jam, and I think throw waves of about 12 harpoons at the enemy. If I throw one big salvo, I don't think it'll get through. If I throw fewer than 12, it will likely not work. So it's going to be 12 and then see what sinks, and then 12 and then see what sinks, and so forth and so on. If that is not enough, I have my underwater card in the form of the Conqueror, which can also inflict some damage, but she still needs to get quite a bunch closer. This Kiev formation has done some strange things in the past. They were sailing around in circles for a while, and now finally they have decided that they once again want to come this way. Don't really know what the plan is, but I'm thinking they're just going to continue on their course west. If for some reason Conqueror and all of these aircraft fail, I still have a Daphne. And at this point I can probably also rush my other submarine over, the Baltimore. I don't really think that she has a whole lot to worry about, because we've already taken down 4 submarines here. One was over in the north, that was a Charlie. Over in the west there was a Victor 1. Right there. And we had, I think, a Vic 3 down there, and over towards the eastern side, another Victor 3. The rate at which the Soviets are losing both submarines and ships is quite alarming, but somehow they're still able to always come back with more. I think somebody wrote in a recent comment saying, well, by my count you've eliminated 93 Soviet ships. And yet they seem to have, I don't know, some sort of 3D printer to keep building more at an alarming rate. But okay, if they can do that, whatever. Let's have you flying at 1,000 feet. Once we get closer, we're going to pop up and start jamming, and then it is go time. I can already start launching with these aircraft, because my harpoons are not as fast as Magic 2. So we're going to go against some of these ships. The Krivaks, least of my worries. Of course, the aircraft carrier is the biggest priority. I have 4 missiles per aircraft, so we're going to go... Let's see, are you following the leader? Yep, follow leader. Good. Single shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go and lock in their altitude. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, a side benefit to having all of these A6s come in portions, if you will, RTB to the carrier, is that they're not going to all crowd out the aircraft carrier. Because if I have this massive strike package and they all send their missiles at the same time and they all try to land at the same time, well, you can spend the better part of an hour trying to recover aircraft. It just takes a lot of time. So that's something that you do have to keep in mind when you're doing these strikes. Let's go and engage that helo in the meanwhile. And the other one there. Oh, you missed? It's unusual. Magic is now in range. That's close enough. Let's pop up to 3,000. Most of these have their radars active, and they're now getting jammed. As indicated by that little sun next to their call sign. Well, their track sign, 7235, 7003, etc. Okay, so you guys are getting jammed. We're going to have Magic 1 back you up. And then we're going to see what those missiles can do. The harpoons are almost here, and I think the Krevac here is starting to pay attention. You can see their guns on the stern facing the threat. The ship is trying to turn starboard to unmask the guns and prepare for action. Her radars are still getting jammed, which includes most of her fire control radars. At short range, we'll see burn through. That means they will be able to see through all the jamming that I'm putting up. At that point, they'll be able to launch missiles. Until such a time, they're going to have to very patiently and probably very, very eagerly wait until they actually have that burn-through moment. There we go. The guns have opened up. There's the whole formation, including the Kiev, the biggest contact there. You can see that some of the missiles are ignoring the Krevac here and instead going for the Kara, because it's a much bigger target. There is some spacing between the Kara and the Krevac here, about 2 miles. They might not get that much assist. Now, 12 missiles is a bit of a gamble. It's not that many. But I'd hate to lose all of these harpoons in... Well, not lose. Waste all of these harpoons in one big go. And find that actually nothing has hit the targets. That's why I'm going one by one by one. I think we're getting spoofed here. Because you can see that this missile is suddenly not going to where it's supposed to go. You're at 0.62. You're not taking any missile action. That's interesting. You got missiles, right? Yeah. You got them. Hit. I think we got one hit. They managed to intercept a missile. These are getting spoofed and chaffed. This one's going for the chaff cloud, which is why it's going up. Good lord. That is a pretty picture. Look at that. Look at that. Aircraft carrier getting heavily defended by the Udaloy right next door. This one has now tried to acquire something else. It's now going for the Krevac on the back. I think this Kara is going to be in dire straits now. 3 hits. 4. That might put it out. But until I see life rafts, I'm going to consider her alive. Okay, so the damage that we've done was 1 Krevac is burning, and the Kara is badly, badly burning. Not bad. Not bad. There's plenty more. What? You got another aircraft up? Okay. I'm gonna wait a little bit and see what this thing does. Because if it sinks, that's 1 less target for my harpoons to latch onto. The Kiev is slowed down to 15 knots now. I don't think she's going to wait for the Kara here, the Nikolaev. Oh, she's gone. Good. Now, she needs to sink. The Krevac here, burning. But she has propulsion. I'm gonna go in with another strike the moment that that Kara is decently well submerged. Let's latch onto the carrier as the anchor point for the jamming. Oh, you're still there. This thing has slowed down to about 2 knots. We're now seeing the messages from the Gordelevi that they cannot deploy their variable depth sonar. I think this is a bug. It's a very old one. You're not really supposed to be able to see that. As you can see, we got another one of the Krevacs coming in. It's the Stovny. Maybe trying to pick up survivors, or at least assume their place in the formation. At which point, I don't know, maybe they can use some of these survivors aboard their own ships as crew, or at least make sure that they get back home safely. Can you sink a little faster? We got bigger fish to fry. Maybe if I shoot from a slightly different angle, I can get some effect without risking the Kara serving as a very big target. Okay. Here we go. Single shots again. And spread them out. 1, 1, 1, 1. This way, again, we're going to have multiple different targets coming under, well, pretty much simultaneous attack while getting jammed. So hopefully they'll be unable to stop that. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are going to RTB, which will probably take you a sweet amount of time. You can see Thunderbolt 9 is almost halfway home. And it seems like so far there's nothing else getting detected. No submarines, no aircraft, nothing. This thing is remarkably resilient. For this next attack, the Submarine is already opening up. It's the first one to come under attack, as it's the, let's say, the southernmost ship. Which means she's going to have to risk life and limb to defend her protectee, the Kiev. I'm not sure she will. She's doing what she can. You can see that there's no action here from this missile launcher. It's still getting jammed. Well, not the missile launcher itself, but the fire control radar. Of course, she's not the only one coming under attack. There's also attacks being launched against some of these other ones. We're seeing lots of them already getting spoofed. Either active spoofing, or jamming, or chaff clouds. Which sucks. This one might have an opportunity to go through. Are you targeting the Kiev? They're all targeting the Kiev. And the Kiev is not having any of that. Look at that Sea Whiz burst coming up. Yeah, they're completely ignoring the Submarine. But I don't think this harpoon has quite gotten the memo. And might actually plumb itself right into... No, you've passed. Hold on. We've hit this one. The missiles might be jammed, but some of them are still getting past. And that means the Kiev's about to get hit. Unless they can stop this with Sea Whiz, they're gonna have a problem. Hit. 2 hits. 3 hits. There's even some friendly fires to try and stop the missiles. Krivac has been eliminated. The other Krivac over there still burning. But they're alive. The Submarine's been hit, and the Kiev's been hit. Good. It's like peeling an onion. I'm taking away layer after layer, and making life rather unpleasant for the Soviets. Now, I don't think 3 harpoons are going to be able to take down an aircraft carrier. I would be rather surprised if that was the case. They still got a full health Cresta, this merchant, or sorry, fleet oiler, and the Udaloy in the back. I'm not sure if he'll die. I want this guy to be completely submerged before going on the attack again. We still have, what, 12 aircraft around? No, 9. Cupcake is standing by here. Cupcake 1. Yeah, just let them cook. Are you gonna get run over by the carrier? Jeez, not far off. Maybe they're trying to help with firefighting efforts, I don't know. Look at that. That's how I like to see the Soviet Navy. Also, this is typically what a Soviet aircraft carrier looks like, whether it's under attack or not. Just big smoke plumes, right? Because they're not fantastic at keeping those engines running. Once again, the Soviets are going to get hit. We have multiple missiles outbound, and you can see we even have multiple missiles coming up from what I suspect is the Udaloy, trying to desperately throw as much as possible up throwing a defensive wall around the Kiev, which is badly battered, but they have secured the fire. Unfortunately for them, they don't seem to have propulsion anymore, which is going to make opportunities for the Conqueror that much better. And the Krivac here is alive. The Krivac here has still not been secured from fire. The Submarine also seems to have issues, but she's still functional, at least with her bow turret. The stern turret's not really taking part in the battle. I don't know how many will get through. You can see one of them is already getting spoofed. Spoofing on the Krivacs is really good. You can see the missile thinks it's targeting that. Oh, it's no longer getting spoofed. This is the Amaralevchenko, and the Admiral has been able to intercept one missile despite being jammed. The interesting thing is, right now, they're not actually even shooting these incoming missiles anymore.
Hit track 7, 2, 3, 5.
It's like this thing was completely shut down. There's 2 hits. The Krivak's been hit, the Submarine has been destroyed, and the Kiev has been hit once, twice, 3 times. Very good. Let it burn. I'm not sure if the Udaloy will sink due to that damage. I'm gonna wait for the Submarine to submerge, wait for the Krivac to submerge. And then we got still, I think, about 6... And we got 6 strikers up there, so that's another 12 harpoons we can throw. Keep at it. Kind of contrary to expectations, the Kiev actually taken so much damage that she's sinking. That is not GG yet, because I think we have to eliminate everything here. Shouldn't be too difficult. Krivac's burning, Udaloy's burning, the only one alive is the Cresta. Fully intact, and the Chilikin. Beyond that, there's not much left. So all I need to do is wait. Let these things cook, let them sink, and after that we're gonna just strike these things out. Once more we go in, now with the Udaloy, the Krivac, Submarine, Kiev, everything underwater. Except this guy. This Krivac somehow was jamming, and then it was not. And unfortunately all missiles here have decided to go for the already wounded, but still kicking Cresta. Unfortunately for the Cresta, I think there is no escape. And that just kind of leaves this awkward merchant slash fleet oiler here waiting for, well, some form of rescue. Because nobody else is around to escort it anymore. I'm wondering if I could just torpedo it, but I'll probably still be here early next week waiting for the Tigerfish torpedoes to arrive. What? Oh. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
Roger, turn 064.
Roger,
turn.
Right, so we still have hostiles. That's refreshing. There's still more hostile submarines. I don't think I can engage that at all. Oh, this is an anti-submarine with a range of 2.8. Right, all stop. Make like a hole in the water. This thing is doing 20 knots. Whatever it is, whatever this submarine is, it has better gear than you do. But the one thing it might not have is the ability to keep very, very, very quiet. I just can't reach it. I just don't have the range. 2.8 miles is nothing. So I'm going to use this as a sensor platform. Wait for, well, eventually... well, it's going to be a while. Wait for Baltimore to arrive in about 5 hours. More like 2.5 if she maintains this speed herself. And wait for all the top cats, the S3s, to come in. At this point, the Cresta is confirmed toast. So Cupcake 4 is going to spend the last couple of missiles going for the Chilikin. And I think that'll be it. Because everybody else is gone. I just hope that this Krivac completely disappears before the missiles get there. Otherwise, they might still attract some attention, which is unwelcome. I want all those missiles to hit the Chilikin. Chilikin is now no longer waiting for anything. It's completely unarmed, it has a navigation radar, and it has the Mark 1 eyeball. That's it. That's it. So it's the most defenseless target you can find, short of another merchant. Speaking of, I have a Soviet merchant here, an actual merchant. It is considered neutral, but it's flying a Soviet flag. Does that mean this thing is fair game? I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to throw a couple of harpoons at it. But I'm not sure if that's allowed. Okay, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. And all we wait now for is you. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to end the mission. Meaning that I might not have time to take out that submarine. But I suppose that once we know the position of the submarine, the top cats or the S3s are going to be able to take it out without too much difficulty. We still got plenty of torpedoes between each other, and I think there's another 6 or 7 S3s at the carrier. So if I want to, I can easily bring over another, well, let's say 20, 25 torpedoes. And of course, that's not even counting all the helicopters. So, the Soviets tried and failed. And that's the end of their last ship. 1, 2, 3. Is that the end of her? It better be. If it's a fleet oiler, I think they would have great difficulty getting the fires under control. Cupcake 7 has finally arrived as well, so I can still throw another couple of harpoons. Seeing as there's nothing else out there. I'm sure these guys want to pitch in, pretend like they helped. 7654 faded, that's the sub. Oh, it's a Vic 2. Yeah, this thing is way more modern than you. And if it catches so much as a whiff of you, you're gonna have some serious problems out to 13 miles. 7 miles apart. Barracuda holding perfectly steady. Don't make a sound. Is there a layer? No, there is not. That'll make things all the more interesting for the Barracuda. The good news is I will probably detect incoming torpedoes very quickly. Because there's no noise whatsoever. But I think we won't have to worry about that too much. Chilican's lost propulsion. Weird with the skybox here. And this is going to be a big amount of booms. And there we go. Mission success. The Kiev CAG has been successfully interdicted and sent to the bottom of the seas before it could transit through Gibraltar to the Atlantic. Continue to patrol and monitor for Soviet subsurface and air assets and exit the AO and mission at your will. Yeah, like I can hunt this guy down. I mean, I said that last time, and that took a lot longer than expected. But let's have a go. We're here anyways. One measly sonar buoy, and we instantly picked him up. I'm now dropping 2 actives to keep a good read on this guy. And we got Top Cat 4, which was very patiently loitering for the last 2 hours or so. And they're going to drop 2 torpedoes on their stern. It's a Victor 2. They won't know what hit them. Well, mostly. Even at short ranges, they can hear torpedoes coming in. Even when dropped from their stern. But it won't be an easy escape. Unfortunately, Top Cat 2 over here only has a few sonobuoys remaining, and that's about it. So it's not like she'll be able to help out a whole lot. Yeah, we have him on one of the active sensors. She can kind of monitor the situation, but she can't kill. And I doubt that 2 torpedoes here will suffice. Here's a thought. Seeing as these guys can't hunt, what I can do... I think they might be aware. What I can do is wait for this thing to get crippled, and then kind of sneak up on it with the Barracuda, and throw some 1945 torpedo in their face. Actually, I think they're just changing course and depth and trying to clear the baffles. Torpedoes are now active. Range 0.17, they don't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty's about to regret that. You have got to be kidding. Nope, that hit. Look at what that looked like above water. Boom! But that was just the one. And number 2 is coming in right about now. Boom! That is a... You even got your periscope up? Yeah. He's got his periscope up. What are you possibly hoping to see? Because the one thing you will see is the approaching S3 Viking as it drops a torpedo right on top of you. Let's see what their damage could be. They've been hit on the stern. No, they've been hit kind of under their keel and on the bow. I wonder if that would knock out the torpedo tubes. It might. Let's wait for top 5 to catch up. Surprisingly, 2 torpedoes was enough to end this victor. And so this guy is going down. Still with the periscope up. So, I'm not sure how that thing survived the impact and the blast, but okay. At least they will have something to see from the conning tower while they're going down. That will be it for this mission. We have done our job. The Kiev lies at the bottom. And that means we have a carrier from the Soviets. Sorry, an aviation cruiser. Less to worry about. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the mission. I hope you've enjoyed this 4-parter. Lots of things happening at the same time. And that's why I had to cut it into 4 parts. Thank you for watching. I shall see you soon for more sea power.